In order to get our file to actually show up in Unity properly, there's a few things that we have to do as some prep work. Primarily, we need to merge the bump map and the normal map channels together to generate a new normal map. So if you didn't use a bump map, if you didn't paint a bump map, then you don't need to worry about it. If you just sculpted and then extracted that sculpt into a normal map like we did earlier in this series, you're fine. But if you have a bump map, as you can see I have here, we need to actually convert this to a normal map and merge them together. That's really the only way that we can get it to properly work in Unity. So what we're going to do is we're going to select the bump map layer, which you can see is this kind of brick pattern primarily right here. And we're going to right click it and just say normal map from bump. And what it should do is then copy our bump map to our normal map channel. I can turn off our bump map, and in fact if I wanted to I could just simply delete that bump map. So now I have my normal map and it has two layers in it. Now the problem is that one layer is sitting on top of the other. So my new layer is sitting on top of my original normal map, so it's hiding it. So what we need to do, it's very simple, is we can change the blend mode of the layer right here, just like in Photoshop you have all these different blend modes, and we're just going to pick overlay. That will combine the two together so now they look natural. And then if we wanted to we can merge these, but we're just going to leave them as they are. So now let's actually export our model. So what we need to do is we need to, in the Select and Move Tools tab, we select Objects and just click on your model. It'll highlight it yellow. We're going to go File, Export Selection, and it's going to ask us where to save it. I'm going to save it to my documents, and I'll call it Strange Object, and I want to make sure I'm on Autodesk FBX. I'll hit Save, and what's going to save if I go to my documents is this strangeobject.fbx and a folder called strangeobject.fbx files. This has our 4 different channels that we've been working with. So it has our diffuse, our specular, our gloss, and our normal map, and you can see them here. It saved them all out. So once we get into Unity, which you may not have to worry about this, but I'll show you the process anyways. In Unity, I'm just going to right click, import a new asset, and in my documents I will find that strange object and import it. And then I'm also going to drag this entire files folder over, and it should automatically, once I hit fix now, it should update my model. Cool. So if I drag my model into the scene, you can see there it is. And it has this strange brown tint. That's unfortunately an artifact that happens from bringing things over from Mudbox. Here's how we can fix that. We grab the material that's tied to that strange object. We just pull it out. Or we can even right click and say extract from prefab. So now that material has its own little spot right here. Now this is an old one I was working with earlier. And with that, we just need to click the albedo channel and turn it white. So that albedo channel just has that's the diffuse. So now our albedo is tied to our proper one. Our normal map is tied to our proper one. We do need to tie our specularity. We can do this. Again, you may not need to do this if you're not working in Unity. We're going to switch our shader from being a standard shader to a standard specular setup shader. And then we're going to select the specular by basically, we're going to just grab in our files, let's pick our model again. There's our specular channel. Here's our specular channel. We just drag and drop that on, and that looks much better. So now it's come over with our specularity, and everything else is looking good. So that is the basics of how you get it from Mudbox into Unity.